diamond, throw for every figure. Updates making fees, roof break, can you see it? Luck ain't even in it, this is just a bunch of heavy lifting. So look, it's a Wednesday running back, there's a W in the chat. The cat that's spitting facts got the Catholic culture on the map. There ain't no PvP, we're preaching PvP. If you want COC, you better show you mean it. Stay in culture, let's make some more. Cat that's corner, so you call her. All the baddies, he's a lady, pull up, he's a lady. Killing you, maybe also known as that. Chatting with Cash on the back end, how it's gonna add up, change it like a cat. Gotta say I'm glad I was in the Jupyverse, like an OG status and I'm still up on the path. Cooking over gas, started the expansion. Looking like a blast man, it's fun to be a cat. If you ain't one yet, you should stick around for that. When my name turned red, I felt the first passion. I think we'll get it moving on, making do some music and the cats like it's a groove. Truly, cats looking like a little movie. Life getting changed, that's how he said he do it. We got wins here every week, I've been saying that it's heat. Every call I be getting geeked, I'm in thrall for every speaker. Updates making peace, roof break, can you see it? Luck ain't even in it, this is just a bunch of heavy lifting. So look, it's a Wednesday running back, there's a W in the chat. The cat that's spitting facts got the Catholic culture on the map. There ain't no PvP, we're preaching PvP. If you want COC, wins here every week, I've been saying that it's heat. Every call I be getting geeked, I'm in thrall for every speaker. Updates making fees, roof break, can you see it? Luck ain't even in it, this is just a bunch of heavy lifting. So look, it's a Wednesday running back, there's a W in the chat. The cat that's spitting facts got the Catholic culture on the map. There ain't no PvP, we're preaching PvP. If you want COC, you better show you mean it. Stay in culture, let's make some more. Cat that's corner, so you call her. All the baddies, he's a lady, pull up, he's a lady. Killing you, maybe also known as that. Chatting with Cash on the back end, how it's gonna add up, change it like a cat. Gotta say I'm glad I was in the Jupyverse, like an OG status and I'm still up on the path. Cooking over gas, started the expansion. Looking like a blast man, it's fun to be a cat. If you ain't one yet, you should stick around for that. When my name turned red, I felt the first passion. I think we'll get it moving on, making do some music and the cats like it's a groove. Truly, cats looking like a little movie. Life getting changed, that's how he said he do it. We got wins here every week, I've been saying that it's heat. Every call I be getting geeked, I'm in thrall for every speaker. Updates making peace, roof break, can you see it? Luck ain't even in it, this is just a bunch of heavy lifting. So look, it's a Wednesday running back, there's a W in the chat. The cat that's spitting facts got the Catholic culture on the map. There ain't no PvP, we're preaching PvP. If you want COC,
You better show you mean it. And hello, everybody. Welcome to this Planetary call. I got to this hotel in Turkey not but a few minutes ago, like literally 7 minutes ago. Prayers up for all the folks that might have been affected. There was an earthquake here, which is part of the reason why this was delayed. So all of our friends in Turkey, I know we have a vibrant community over here. Hopefully everyone's all right and staying safe. But this call is now about a lot of different things. We have the DAO Resolution Vote. Yes, I am okay for people asking. Like I said, you can see my suitcase is still open there. I literally got to this room 3 minutes before this call started. It has been a hectic day, but it is a big day as well because it's DAO Resolution Vote Day. So we're going to go through that. Ain't no quake going to stop the Planetary call, says May. W in the chat for May, Empress of the Jupyverse, and everybody else dropping the jams there. My guy Slick, I see Will. I said, come hell or high water, I will host these calls. Apologies. And yes, that includes earthquakes and acts of God. So we're gonna get going here in just a second. As soon as I figure it out. Do I look very small, by the way? The only chair they have in this room is like very low. I'm going to try to angle this so that I look like a tall person. All right, anyway. Well, before we get started here, we have something that we just have to do. And now this one, honestly, I didn't even really want to do it, but I mean, you know how lawyers are. They kind of always say stuff. And so what they've asked me to do today is start off with the unofficial cadet theme song. Let's go. Ooh, that gets me amped up every goddamn time. Cash with the Walmart connection today. Is my connection bad? I'm here at this hotel very last minute. But yes, as minted AUAG says, like for the algo, folks, like this comment, retweet, do all that kind of normal KOL shit. I really got to stop my swearing. We live together, we Planetary call together. Yes, I've inherited Meow's internet for better or for worse. This time around, unfortunately, our guy Vibhu not able to make it. I was on a flight. He is also on a flight, so he's not going to be there, but we upgraded. That's the good news. And today, joining me for co-host duties is the man, the myth, the sluggy legend, Mr. Slorg of the Slugs. How you doing, Slugman?
I'm good. Yeah, Kash, I'm pretty good. I wouldn't call myself an upgrade from Vibhu, though. I think you're flattering me a bit much here, but I'll take it. We'll take it.
Well, you sent a nice text right before, you get a nice compliment right after. That's how it goes, Slugman. In case you don't already know, so Slugman, CWG, been a part of the community for since the dawn of the DAO, in fact. So it's important to have him here for this DAO one. My audio is good, but video keeps lagging.
Yeah, your audio is perfect. Your audio is perfect.
Okay. It's better now. Okay. We're going to have to go with that then.
We'll do it live.
Vibhu, how are you responding to this? You're supposed to be on a plane right now. I thought that's why you couldn't join. Very suspicious. Very suspicious, Vibhu, I will say. Lagging together. Well, my name is Kash. I work at Jupyter as the cat herder. I am regularly just done dirty by AI. I think this one also did me a little bit dirty, but shout out to Jupe and Juice for putting that one together. And today we have a planetary call for the books. It's going to be a big one. In case you don't know, the point of the planetary calls, bring the community together. We try to do this every Wednesday and treat it basically like an open boardroom, right? Where we're like, hey, we're going to go forward and tell you everything that we've been doing and some of the cool things that are cooking as well. So we're going to be focusing... Sorry, the chat making me laugh with Vibhu. So today, what we're going to focus on, we're going to be talking a lot about the DAO and the DAO Resolution Vote. We're also going to get some product stuff going today as well. It's going to be super fun as we go through. So here's the agenda. We're going to do this week in the Jupyverse pretty quickly. Then we're going to spend most of the time for the first half of the call on the DAO resolution itself. I'll walk through. There's a vote that is now live, vote.jup.ag. Don't go check it out. Stay here. I'll tell you all about it. Don't worry. And then you'll have 4 days to vote, so there's no rush. Then after me and Slug talk about the DAO resolution, we're going to get a sneak peek at a brand new feature with our guy, Joe Doe, chef over at Jupyter. He's going to talk about that new feature along with Juno. We'll do a quick segment of Drip Too Hard. And then we're going to meet the Jupyter team. We're going to do a little interview with our guy, Genesis, excuse me. And then, of course, we got to finish it off with Cadet's Corner. Our guy, RJ, is here, which I know people are excited about. The hotel Wi-Fi, this is a very serious vote. Stop having fun. Yeah, that's probably true. But yes, answers are right. We got Alpha coming your way. That is for a fact. Slugman, you ready to go? How you feeling?
Good, good. Can we plug the Telegram here, if you don't mind?
Please, plug it away.
All right, so
Plug
there
man
is a
of the slugs.
plug man. that sounds illegal.
Yeah,
that sounds illegal right there. But
people gotta know Slug comes off as a nice guy. He's got a very dirty mind. Let me just tell you that as a fact. But yeah, plug man, please take it away.
I learned it from you. But yeah, there's currently a Telegram channel. It's called Jupe_marketing. If you want just the product updates and you're a Telegram native or a Telegram regular, I would implore you to just join that channel. Currently, it has 1,400 subscribers. It was only created a week ago, but it's just for the product updates, major product updates. So make sure you check that out. Again, it's Jupe_marketing.
That's right. And we just put the link into the YouTube chat there as well. The TG is the alpha. You'll be the first to know every single time. I cannot tell you how many times we tried to do this, and finally it worked this time, which is great. All right. With that said, let's talk quickly about some of the things that have been going on the product side. In case you're not in the Telegram channel, you're a little bit late to know, but here you go. This week in the Jupyverse, first and foremost, a big one. Juno, our next generation liquidity engine, is now live. I am not going to say anything else about it because our guy Joe Doe is going to go deep into it later on. But let me just tell you big update that makes Jupe AG even more powerful. Meta aggregation of multiple routing algorithms plus better routing algorithms ourselves. Vibhu, again, plugging it there. Stay tuned. We're going to go into this in some detail with Joe in just a little bit, but just know that this was a big deal that happened this past week. I know I say that every week recently, and that is because the Jupiter team just keeps shipping. Sorry, I'm swearing more than usual. Excuse me. This is a big one. We'll come back to that in just a little bit. Speaking of big ones for the community, Good Cat claims are now live. Folks will remember a small portion of Jupyverse was set aside for so-called good cats, people that contributed not just their love, but also their time, their energy, their attention to making the Jupyverse a better place. Whether that's through creating content or answering support tickets or just helping out people, hosting events, all of those types of things. One, to make sure in the J4J spirit, you contribute into the Jupyverse, you get something out of the Jupyverse as well. That is now live. So if you submitted your wallet address before April 13th, you can now claim your staked Jupe, right? So it'll be staked, as always, to your stake account for at least 30 days. Jupyverse.jupe.ag/good-cats. If you didn't submit your wallet address, don't worry. You can submit your wallet address now, and then you'll just have to wait for a few days before you're able to claim. Big shout out to May, Honey, and the CAWG. Can we get a little W in the chat for May for going through a billion different applications? Just the May. May is always the best. Yeah, there's. What do you think about good cats like that?
I think it's a worthwhile initiative. I think there's like many active contributors in the Jupyverse who aren't in work groups and who aren't actively being paid, and I think they deserve some sort of recognition. I think that should translate over to an increase in their voting power, and that's why the initiative was made. And I think it just makes sense because there's a large social component to all this stuff, and I think that needs to be acknowledged. We're not robots, at the end of the day. So some of us
we are not.
But not all of us.
We've tried, yes. And please drop an additional W for the CAWG. Sorry, I should have said W for everyone that contributed. CAWG, an essential part of reviewing it. More than 20,000 applications. Every single application had multiple reviews from the CAWG plus May to make sure that things were going well. This was a labor of love, folks. This was not an easy thing to do. But WCAWG, W May, W our guy, Honey, who built the site, made it all happen. Love to see it. All right. Good Cats, as Slug says, an important kind of initiative. Another important initiative, making Jupyter Portfolio better every single goddamn week. I love Jupyter Portfolio. If you have not tried it yet, please do. It's free. You just put in your wallet address. You can put in multiple wallet addresses and see all of your DeFi positions everywhere. And here's a true fact. I just found $100 in a wallet that I did not know about because of Jupyter Portfolio, that I put it into it recently. So it's the best way to find some free money. And now it actually will have even more coverage with all of the people and all the companies that are shown right here. Big shout out to Aura, Flash, Huma, our guys, and many others. Slugman, are you a Jupyter Portfolio Power user?
I've used it a couple of times. I haven't found any money, unfortunately, but I did see there was an individual who found, I think, $14,000 in it.
Yeah, Broski found 16, I thought. Yeah, a ton.
Yeah, so some large amount. But yeah, I think it's worth checking out at least once just to see, because it's very hard to keep track of everything in your traditional wallet. So there's no cost. It's 2 minutes of your time. Check it out for sure. You might find something you forgot about a long time ago. Yeah,
AG is confirming. Shout out to AG from the CWG. Broski found $16,000. That could be you. Be like Broski. Go use this. Just a few minutes. Yeah. Losing 16K, what a luxury. Yes, this is a big one, and this team just keeps on shipping. Stick around. Later on this call, we're going to talk to Genesis, who's the co-founder of Sonar Watch, which was made part of the Jupyter family pretty recently. Him and Olivier running Jupyter Portfolio. We're going to hear all about his life story later on. And you're going to enjoy it. And you know what else you're going to enjoy? The Jupe Enjoyers channel, which is now out. Big shout out to May, Megan, Neverland, and a bunch of the Drip team has helped on this as well. The idea is simple. Charts are okay, but culture is really what prevails. And so now with Jupe Enjoyers, which is a new Twitter page that anyone can go follow, you can send any token to the Cultural Bounty wallet by April 27th to spark an art bounty and have it immortalized on Jupyter's brand new token pages as well. So $2,500 is kind of the typical starting point. We've already seen more than $30,000 worth of tokens sent to the Cultural Bounty wallet so that all of you who are watching this, whether you are a Drip creator, whether you are a Jupyverse person, whether you're just a guy or a girl who likes making cool stuff for projects that you care about, we are pushing forward the meta here. And of course, we're going to be putting these directly onto the Jupiter token pages so that everyone going forward can see those and hopefully imbibe some of that culture. You going to compete in this, Slugman?
No, I'm far too busy these days. I do not have time to enjoy. I do not have time to enjoy, especially with 4 O's. I'll tell you that much.
if May could have, she would have had 20 O's on that one. But yeah, give token, as she's saying. Takiji was saying culture enjoyers. That's right. It might be around 150K at some point. Jupe India says, yeah. And speaking of Jupe India, by the way, well, actually, we'll get to that in 1 second. Another win of the week: liquid stake Jupe built by Rainfi. So just want to make this super clear. This is a third-party thing that was built. The Jupiter team did not build this. Rainfi built it. They've been builders in the space for a long while, but we didn't audit the code or anything like that. But with Rainfi now, you can borrow Sol or USDC against your stake Jupe and still be able to vote, which is pretty cool. Heads up, because we did not build it, you cannot transfer your existing stake. So this would only apply to new stake that you create directly via the Rainfi interface. So you can check that out if you are interested in some liquid staking of the Jupe tokens. And then finally, Jupiter India, here we go. Hosting a cross-country tour. This is pretty sick, actually. So we have a few different cities in India which are going to have physical meetups. I talked about this, I forget if it was last week or 2 weeks ago. We're trying to go more IRL. Me and Meow have done a few meetups. I know Julian has done a few meetups. A few other folks have done meetups. And Duke the Great and Eternal Sammy have done meetups. Great things happen. Strong community vibes, people getting onboarded directly to Jupe Mobile, to all the Jupiter products. This is pretty sick. So if you are in India and watching this right now, please head on over to lu.ma/Jupe_India, and you can find out where all these events are going to be. Shout out to Isaac as well, who's kind of helping put all of these things together. Well, already you can see 65 people going to one, 60 people going to another. Like, pretty good numbers. This is super fun. Jupiter India has the best butter chicken. Fun fact: butter chicken, largely it's chicken tikka masala. That is it's a UK dish. Exactly. But is it butter chicken or chicken tikka masala?
It's the butter chicken, I believe.
Isaac, you let us know in the chat which one it is. Anyway.
Fact check that, guys.
Fact check that, yeah, fact check that. This is super cool, and we want to see even more of this. So remember, there is a grants program for people that want to host events. You can go over to Super Team Earn under Jupiter, and you can find all of that and apply to host a meetup by yourself. Butter chicken is, okay, now the chat is mostly just talking about butter chicken versus chicken tikka masala. We all know the butter chicken is better, so we don't really need to dwell too much on that. But here's something that we don't necessarily know, but we think might be better as well. What we want to do now is talk. Vito says, am I streaming from Versailles? No, I'm streaming from Istanbul, Turkey. My room is, it's nice. Anyway, we're going to talk now about the DAO Resolution Vote, and this is a big one, folks. What I'm going to do for the first few minutes is just talk through kind of what the DAO resolution is all about, why it is important, and why I full-heartedly believe that this is the direction that we need to start to go in. And then we're going to look at some verified feedback that is starting to come through as people vote. Now, remember, verified feedback is something that only Jupiter has. Jupiter pioneered. Pretty great stuff. I see some questions about liquid staking in the chat here. Any of those questions, direct over to Rainfi. This is their product, so you'll have to ask them and they can give you some answers on how that stuff works. Okay, let's get into the DAO resolution, part 1. And the part 1 is an important piece here, because the idea is that this is going to be the first in a series of DAO resolutions where we start to improve, evolve, upgrade some of the structures that are in the DAO, right? And there's a lot of work to be done, as I think we can all agree. Slug is here as well from the CWG. Was important throughout the entire drafting process. And I will say many others were as well. This has been, how many versions did we go through on this, Slug?
At least 6 formal ones, probably 7 informal ones.
Yeah, plus another 10 that I went through myself before we started. So there was a bunch of them. But broadly, what is this vote about? This DAO resolution is about getting the entire DAO to agree and kind of get a social mandate around what the DAO's purpose actually is, what the team does versus what the DAO does, the way that the DAO is funded, and generally the journey that we're about to go on, which I'll talk about, is the journey of progressive independence. Voting yes on this proposal very clearly means that, hey, we think we should ratify this document and that this is a good ground for us to all move forward with together. This is a good common set of definitions and a common approach that we can get behind. It doesn't necessarily mean that you agree with every single word that's in the proposal. It means that broadly, this is the right direction that we should be moving in. Shout out to Stash, props for how well win as this is. Appreciate it, guy. So let's talk about it in some more specificity. The purpose of the Jupyter DAO. This is a big one, right? We talked about this early on, like right when the DAO started, but things change, right? Over the past year, we've learned a lot of stuff, and we've learned in particular that we need to be very precise on it. Actually, it's like this is something that you've talked about for a while. Can you talk about the importance of clarity and precision and why we have to kind of like be formal about this purpose right here?
Yeah, I would say there's two parts to this. One is that I think in the very early stages of the DAO, back in January, February of last year, Meow put out a couple of origination essays, and that kind of kickstarted the ideology of the DAO. But I don't think anything since has really touched on that or covered that, or necessarily got explicit buy-in from people. And as we know, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people are participating in this DAO, many of which have joined over time, so they may not have been aware of those. They may not have agreed explicitly to those. So I think what this provides an opportunity for is to get that explicit buy-in on the direction from people.
That's right. This is all about making sure that we're all kind of on the same page going forward here, right? I think that this is easier said than done, quite honestly, right? Defining a purpose. I think there's a lot of people with different ideas. But this, after, again, like many, many drafts and talking to literally hundreds of people, this is what I think the kind of consensus view is. That the Jupyter DAO is the legislative arm of the community. There is a community of people around Jupyter. Some of them are users who don't hold any Jup tokens. Some hold Jup tokens, but don't actually stake them. Some stake them, but don't actually vote, right? So the DAO is a subset of the larger community. And the DAO, as this legislative arm, has a very clear purpose. And that is to accelerate the growth of Jupyter's community, Jupyter's product adoption, and the ideas that we want to push forward around the world as we build this cultural movement around ideas like PPP, decentralization, et cetera, et cetera. The idea for the Jup DAO is to use the voting function to provide the social mandate on things that allow us to accomplish this goal. In addition, one of the other kind of critical parts of this DAO resolution is getting everyone to agree that in order to do these things, in order to get a larger and more engaged community, in order to get more usage of products, in order to get more ideas out into the world, the DAO is going to need talented people. Talented people like the Slug Band, or like any of the members, like AG and everybody else that's on, and Morton and everybody else, Chemo that's on the CWG, along with all the other work groups as well. And to that end, the DAO can be more than just this kind of governance body. It can actually be the body that helps fund initiatives and give them some legitimacy, this kind of source of legitimacy from the community to go get that work done. That is what the DAO is all about. That, my opinion, bullish. In addition, though, what we have to identify is that on this journey, it's going to take some time to figure it out, right? Let me say something that might not be obvious to a lot of folks who are watching this, right? The most active fucking DAO, as Brasky says, yeah, most DAOs that you will see out there, whether it's on Solana or Ethereum or anywhere else, the average number of voters is somewhere between like 50 and 150 people voting per proposal. And the number of proposals will be like, one proposal every few months. The Jup DAO has, between 200 and 300,000 voters per proposal. And we're trying to do like multiple proposals a month. We've done 22 or 23 already in the first year. Right. So we're doing things at a scale and in a manner of activity that no one else is doing them. And as a result, we have to do things kind of differently than other people have done them in the past. That makes our job much harder, right? This is not there's no playbook that we can follow because no one has really tried to do it the way that we're trying to do it. And as a result, what that means is that we need to have extra help and extra structures to make sure that happens. So we're 1 year in and we have a choice. We could say, hey, the DAO is going to be fully autonomous and fully independent right now. Or we could say, hey, this is a journey that we have to go on together. And the DAO still needs some changes to be made fundamentally. And I think we can all agree on what some of those changes are, like the defined proposal generation process, so that anything from Jup research that gets enough love can actually go to a vote. Things like, how do we actually fund things? We've been talking a lot about delegate systems. How do we actually fund the DAO from an operational perspective using new funding mechanisms? Like, these are the types of questions that are very important and also very hard for the DAO to be able to manage on its own. What is required here is a sense of clear strategic direction. And so we are embarking on this journey of progressive independence, which does not mean that the team controls the DAO or anything else like that. It just means that the team is going to be actively involved in helping shepherd the DAO to a place where it can be fully independent. There has been, some pushback on this. I won't lie to you. There are some folks who are kind of decentralization maxis or independence maxis, and they're like, hey, if the DAO is not fully autonomous and the team has nothing to do with it, then it doesn't really count. I take the opposite view, and I think many people take the opposite view, that what really matters here is outcomes. We are not doing this for the sake of some kind of weird ideology, or not even weird, just like for the sake of ideology. We are doing this to make the world a better place and to expand the Jupyverse. In order to do that, we have to be focused and we have to be realistic on what can be accomplished. We want to be pragmatists, not just idealists, as we go forward here. And that is why I think this is such an important kind of journey to have everyone's buy-in that we're going on together. That the team, myself, Meow, May, many others across the Jupyter team will be involved hand in hand with the community, right? So the slug man is not going anywhere, inshallah, right? All these working group members not going anywhere. All of you voters, all the people on Jupyter research forums and Discord, not going anywhere, right? And the way that you know they're not going anywhere is that we're putting this to a vote, right? If we wanted to just kind of seize control of the DAO, we would have just said, hey, this is what it is. But that's not what we're doing here. The goal is to have everybody on the same page and get buy-in to move forward here. Wake saying buzzwords like decentralization are overused, to be honest. I think that's possibly true. Alicat says DAO, drive, align, over-deliver. I dig that as well. But so as we go on this journey, there are some clear milestones that are up on the slide. They're in the full essay and proposal. People can check those out as well. But this idea of progressive independence, I think, is really important for us to be aligned on. Slugman, I would love your thoughts on the journey of progressive independence.
Yeah, I think one overarching theme for these items here is that to a large degree over the last year, they've been mostly like social and amorphous. And I think something that we really need to do probably by the end of this year even is to add some sort of formal system for some of these things. Like currently, if a community member wants to make some sort of proposal, what do? They go to Jupe Research, they try to rally support, they try to create like their own mini movement. And I think that's well and good, and that might be effective for very small DAOs that are composed of maybe 20 to 50 people. But for a DAO the size of ours, I think there really needs to be like a more formal process. Like if you do XYZ, you are guaranteed to have your proposal read by someone, for example. And I think that's something we need to really figure out together.
I think clarity of purpose is very important. Clarity of process also very important. And we don't have that right now. But, we can be honest that the DAO is still a baby. It's only 1 year old. And so we need time to be able to figure these things out together and drive them. Papa Bearded says this guy Cash uses word good. Thank you, Papa Bearded. Okay, so that's the journey of progressive independence that we're going on. But if this vote passes, a bunch of things will start to happen as a result. Right. We'll then be in a place to start to have some of the more kind of tactical operational questions that are really important for the DAO. For example, I think this is a very broad, I think this is kind of consensus view. The DAO, not all a few 100,000 people need to vote on every single budget decision, right? It causes a lot of FUD, it slows things down, and honestly, it's very painful for the people that go through it. And I think it scares away a lot of talent on a lot of the time. Even though the votes usually pass for these work groups, even though these are kind of critical resources, it's just the DAO has a limited attention span. Like there's a scarce amount of attention that we can ask for the DAO to be realistic. It's the same reason why, as an American citizen, I don't vote on every single piece of legislation, right? There's like a representative democracy process that becomes very important. So we need to figure out how to make sure that the DAO always is able to give that social mandate without overtaxing everybody in the DAO. That's like one key problem that needs to be solved. We got to think about ASR funding and what happens after the end of Q3. We got to think about other funding mechanisms and pathways for the DAO, some of which we've talked about in the past in some of these other places. Yeah, can confirm, Max paid the deed. And then, of course, as we talked about, we need this process to go forward. So Broski says, can we get a detailed annual report of the DAO, just like how listed companies communicate their fiscal results? Broski, as usual, you're 2 steps ahead. But yes, we are currently building out a DAO dashboard to kind of have this. We're also talking about what's it called, with all the work groups we just talked about on Tuesday, having a kind of format for regular reporting so that there is that kind of transparency, because it cannot be trusted by the whole community unless we have that transparency. So absolutely, we need to start to do that. So a bunch of things that are going to start to happen there, new pathways. We really want to make Jupe a community currency that is kind of used as a medium of exchange and store of value within the Jupyverse. And all of these types of things need to be figured out, but they can only be figured out if we are on the same page first. So the other thing that should be mentioned that's not on here right now is, as a critical part of this proposal, if it passes, the team will once again top up the DAO operational treasury back up to 10 million USDC to be used to help accomplish its mission of accelerating the growth of the community, the products, and the ideas around the world. So that is going to be, that's a critical part of this as well. You can vote on this right now. There's a video that I made. There's a little short blurb. I do encourage everybody to read the full proposal. It's been edited based on tons of community feedback. And again, thank you to everybody that gave that community feedback. And people can kind of see the full picture, because obviously we're going over at a relatively high level right here. Should we look at some verified feedback, Slugman? What do you think?
I think let's go for it.
Let's go. Let me get the link up real quick. Anything else that you want to say about the DAO resolution while I pull this up?
Maybe we can go over quickly the bifurcation of roles between the team and the DAO, because I think that's an important section.
Great point. Great point. This is why the Slugman is here. Let me pull this up, and there we go. Yes, so this is another kind of like key area of clarity that I think was required. Here you can see this all right here on the full post. There was a lot of confusion of like, okay, what should the DAO be doing? What should the team be doing? What is kind of in each? OG says thoughts on adding 10 million instead of topping up. Yeah, so here's the kind of difference, right? When we think about the team, we think that like, okay, where there are areas where clear strategic execution becomes really critical, that's where the team is really valuable and can do a lot of great things. Where there are times where we want a broad social buy-in or things that benefit from decentralization, that's where the DAO is really best. So the team should be focused on building products. It's hard to build products with 400,000 people opining about them all the time. The team obviously manages the business because the team built the business. And the team kind of designs the token utility that comes out of it, right? Which is a critical kind of piece, because token utility is obviously fundamentally something that is related to the products and to the business. So that is in the scope of the team. In the scope of the DAO, it's everything that accelerates the Jupyter products community and ideas while providing social mandate on proposals. We'll also include in this category, any usage of the community reserve, for example, would have to be approved by the DAO. Any use of the DAO treasury, of course, has to be approved by the DAO. So those are the kind of like, that's the kind of clear dividing line that we want to put in. Does this cover all cases? I don't know. Like, I'm sure that there might be something that comes up in the future that is kind of in a bit of a gray area, but hopefully for everyone, this provides some degree of clarity that it is not the job of the DAO to try to build the products. It is not the job of the DAO to manage the business. It is not the job of the DAO to figure out the token utility. That is the job of the team. The job of the DAO is to help accelerate the growth of those products, the communities, and the ideas, and provide social mandates where it is useful. Is that how does that sound to you, Slugman?
Yeah, sounds good. So a section here says that the team is responsible for creating token utility. Is the DAO still able to give ideas as it pertains to things like that? Can the DAO still be a source of ideas in this this proposal, do you believe?
I think one of the beautiful things about having such a large and active DAO filled with so many talented people is that it turns into this almost like hothouse of ideation. So there's a bunch of things that have come forward through the Jupyter reforms, a bunch of ideas that I think are very much worth considering. The important thing to recognize is that those are suggestions to the team. Those are not things that will automatically get a vote on because not all of them are in control of the DAO. So that's the way that I think about it, is that yes, we love the ideas. We don't promise that none of those ideas will be executed on. And certainly even after the DAO is fully independent in 2 years, we don't expect that to be something that the DAO is kind of executing on. But to generate ideas, absolutely. We'd be foolish to just like ignore the ideas of the DAO.
Yeah, and I can say that browsing the forum, I have seen some very interesting ideas as it pertains to this. So,
indeed. Can somebody drop the link to the verified feedback so we can start to pull that up as well? As we're waiting for that link, I will just remind everybody, this is definitely a 2-year kind of plan. So this is a plan that has an end date on it. Like, that is the intention. And again, it's not just like it's going to flip the switch one day and be fully independent in 2 years. We're going to get there together over the course of the 2 years. Right? This is a journey together. Slorgan's extra eyes on his hat to keep an eye on the DAO proposals. My guy Molu giving it here. Let me see. Oaks Raleigh says, are there any ideas posited by the DAO utility that you like? Right now, there's a few things I don't know off the top of my head, so I can't really say to it. But again, we want to keep that kind of in the domain of the team. So stay tuned for that. Is what I would say. Over the last 2 weeks, this document has been my primary focus in getting as much feedback in as possible and trying to. Okay. What will be adjusted if this vote does not pass, as Sufius? That will depend on what the verified feedback is. Now, my honest hope is that this does pass. I shared this with a bunch of people. They're like, oh yeah, well, I don't know why this would not pass. It seems fairly sensible. But if it does not pass, then I think we kind of have to see what the feedback is, what areas of it specifically people were not happy about. Some of it we're a little bit constrained on, honestly, right? So if people don't want to, if they say, no, we want 100 million from the team, we don't have 100 million to give you. It's not like that's not an option, right? So we can't change things that cannot be changed. But yeah, generally we'll just have to see what the feedback says. And speaking of which, let's take a look at the feedback right now. Feedback.juke.ag. Okay, well, no, that's not the right link. Why did you lie to me, Molu? Molu, you made me look like a fool in front of 5,000 of my closest friends. Molu just rolled me. Well, a great opportunity to plug feedback.juke.ag. If you have any product ideas, this is a great place to go. And you can see that a lot of people have been contributing ideas. That is true. Man, never listening to Slug, or never listening to him again. Okay, here we go.
Did you say never listen to Slug again? Even though
never listen to anybody again. Sorry, I was trying to pull up the thing and read at the same time. So yeah, no, listening to Slug, yes. Listening to Molu, never again. Okay, so here we have some feedback. Voted for, DAO is important. Nothing to say, really say. Nice, okay. Happy for this amazing journey. You make our lives so easy. That I love. Oh, some great ideas already coming through in the verified feedback. Appreciate that. Yes, DAO Impact Dashboard is going to happen. I'm so sorry. I can't remember your name. I think I know who this is. I DM'd you on Twitter because I'd love to talk, actually, because I think you have some really nice ideas. Treasury yield strategies, yep, okay. Voting for, framing the DAO as a talent marketplace will attract builders who deliver measurable value. Definitely agree. Slugman, feel free to jump in if you see any comments that feel interesting. Great proposal, IMO, that is good. It's smart to not just let it go. Keeping it to mature for 2 years is a good idea. This is good.
There's not too many questions, mostly comments.
Yeah, thanks, Jupe. Mostly seem to be quite positive, which is good. Just said
that person appreciates you and everything you've done.
Where is that?
With the yellow peace sign above. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, thank you, and I wish you all the best. Oh, appreciate that. I'm doing the juggle. I don't know if this is specifically to me. I think this probably refers to Jupiter. Overall, good things are coming out, very well thought out. All right, well, hey, if the early votes are to be believed, it seems like this is going to be a good one. Here we go. It's getting more and more difficult and complicated to vote. I would love to know what this person was referring to and why, because that is definitely useful feedback. By the way, you can always feel free to just drop into the Juke research forums to drop ideas, or Discord or Twitter or anyone else.
I would say there's also a potential solution regarding that coming up in the near term, because everything didn't make it into this first resolution. That's why it's called part 1, right? Do you maybe want to touch on that?
Yeah, I mentioned it a little bit. I'll mention it again. Polymonger says it's nice to see someone else doing essays other than Meow. I appreciate that, Polymonger. Yeah, me and Meow have been collaborating on essays for a while, so it might seem kind of similar, but indeed. The idea is that this, you got to walk before you can run. You got to crawl before you can walk, right? We've done the crawling as a DAO over the last year, right? We kind of we figure some things out. Now we're kind of in that walking phase. But before we can really start to run, we got to make sure we have a solid foundation to run on. And that's what this DAO resolution is about. But the second, the third, and to the fourth DAO resolutions will be about other process-oriented changes that are more specific to, let's say, the complications around voting and trying to stay up to date on everything that's happening with voting, or the difficulties of budgeting processes, for example. So all of those types of things will happen into the future. As Slug is kind of alluding to, my first draft here had like 15 points or something like that. Like it was basically just like, hey, here's everything that I think we should do all at once. And then there was good feedback from multiple stakeholders who were like, hey, let's slow it down, let's break it up. It was up to me. I like to move fast, but I appreciate we got to bring everybody along for the ride. And it does make good logical sense that we need a common set of definitions in order to explain what the value of those future proposals or future resolutions are going to be. So yes, slower karaoke next Planetary call, definitely, that's going to happen. But yes, the DAO will continue to evolve as we go through it. I'm not comfortable with that much spending. That's an interesting one. There's nothing in this proposal that specifically talks about spending, I will say. So just for anyone who's watching this who hasn't voted yet, or even if you have voted, you can always change your mind. There's no actual spending allocated in this proposal. In fact, what we're doing is giving the DAO more funding. So just a heads up on that. No remark. I don't like the idea. Sorry. I forgive you. I didn't understand, so I abstained. Yes, abstain is another thing, by the way, that we want to take a look at in future DAO resolutions. I think that's a whole thing.
It's surprisingly contentious. The abstain option. It's actually surprising. Some people like really love it. Some people really hate it, and then there's some people in between. Morton made a Jupe research post about it like a couple months ago, and there was a big brawl about abstain. So it's more contentious than you think.
Yeah, I have a sense of like the people who are, well, that's a whole separate conversation. I have pretty strong feelings on the abstain thing. I think that, yeah, well, we'll talk about it another time. I'll tell you what, if this passes with more than 90% in favor, I will grow a giant beard. How about that? I will grow my beard out, but it needs 90% in order for me to do that. How's that taste, man?
I actually have a question, and I kind of want to put you on the spot here a little bit. But as per the results of the very first DAO vote, Meow was meant to wear a cat costume. I don't believe he's ever honored that. When is that going to be honored?
That is a great question for Meow. I will say he had said that he was going to do something at Cat Sample, but didn't end up happening. So Meow, if you're watching this,
the DAO demands.
Get on top of it, my guy. The DAO demands it, and honestly, this is a social mandate. This is the whole point of the DAO, is to kind of keep people accountable in a sense. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. He's not really doing the conference circuit anymore. Maybe you can just do it on a planetary call. Would that satisfy your cash lust?
I think it would. I think it would.
Okay. We'll try to make that happen. Then. Drop a little W in the chat if you want to see Meow in a cat costume on this. Drop an L if you do not want to. And then we'll do a little straw poll right now. If he doesn't wear it, no 2030. It's falling longer. I love foie gras abstaining from this. That's great. But yeah, otherwise it's mostly W's. Let's see. Yes, reseeding the treasury with 10 million USDC gives us the firepower to fund high impact initiatives without immediate fundraising pressure. Absolutely right. No stop burning money. Again, there's no spend in this whatsoever. Maybe we should have put that in big, maybe it's not too late. We can put that in big bold letters on the page. There's no budgetary spend as a part of this proposal. I don't know. Everyone besides Wake wants to see him in the cat costume, it looks like. Let's see, keep it up, high level, super bullish, clear, mature, and well-funded, sets the stage for real DAO impact. Now it's all about exciting. Wow, I love it so much.
What's the French comment? There's a French one. What does that say?
Ask me if I speak French.
Yeah.
Ask me.
Do you speak French?
Petit peu. That's the extent of my French. So I don't actually know what that means. French translation to English. Was this just, I think it's necessary, is what it says.
Oh, okay.
Nice. There we go. I think it's, oh yeah, and thank you, Vito, also. Okay, everybody, everyone translating it at the same time. Thank you very much for that. Graywork, this is very important for the DAO to be independent and autonomous. Please less small votes, only vote for things that could really make a change to the DAO or Jupe. My sense is that this counts as a big thing, because if we can get everyone to agree on this, it allows us to do a lot of things in the future and allows us to kind of have clear distinctions between the team and the DAO so people can focus on creating the most value. But I definitely hear you, and I definitely agree. Small votes, we want to have as few small votes as possible and do big votes only. Let's see. Is there other comments? Fast success, great jobs, whatever you guys think. Okay. Can someone, I don't even know what language this is. Is this Italian? Let's get a quick translation on this.
I think is that
while
Spanish?
I translate that. Yeah, you can tell how many languages I speak and the fact that I don't even know what language that is. Translate. Let's see. Translate. Can someone in the chat tell us what language is this? Don't kid yourself. It's the money again. They spend their time asking for money. They have no limit. And every time they ask for money, the token collapses. That's interesting. One of the cool things about verified feedback is being able to understand who's reading the proposals and who's not. So again, for the third time, there is no spend component of this proposal. None of the money. There's
There's actually the opposite. There's actually the opposite.
That's correct. It's increasing the money on here rather than decreasing it. So folks, if you see any fun like this and you support the proposal, would love your support to convince people. Perhaps it is also a language issue. I appreciate. I would really love to have more languages. I think that'd be easy. Panda says bro got blacklisted for next Jupyverse. No, he did not. Let me say that. Just because you disagree, listen, I appreciate people can disagree. I hope that they disagree for good, reasonable reasons. This, I would say, is not a good reasonable reason because it's not true. It'd be like disagreeing with us because it says we should go to Mars. No one's saying we should go to Mars, but in the future, anyone who does have good feedback, or not even good feedback, anyone who has reasonable feedback is very much welcome. I voted for. I'm here for the long haul. Paying for your contributors confidentially is essential. Yeah. I like that one. IDK, probably an abstain. Let's see. I like the DAO resolution, voted yes. Jupe price should be the main concern. As community staking Jupe irrespective of price and not booking any profits because of the 30-day unstaking period, teams should make this token as utility token to increase price. Yeah, this is a point that's come up a few times. So do you want me to talk about this, or do you want to talk about this? I don't want to monologue.
Yeah, go for it. Utility is in the realm of the team, so I think it makes sense.
Yeah, so I think there's two really important things to factor in. So the first one is, if you want to be able to sell your Jupe, like whenever you'd like, no problem. Go with God. Totally fine. No one is asking or forcing you to stake. And certainly no one is asking you to kind of like take action and vote if you don't want to. But for us, especially like we're looking at verified feedback here, right? We want to know, and this is an important vote, we want to know what people who have at least 30 days of faith in the project think about things, right? If you're like, hey, I don't want to, I can't, I only want to be able to stake for one day at a time or whatever, that really messes up the signal and the social mandate that the DAO provides. That's why that 30-day stake period is there. So again, if you're worried about the price, I get it. There's no problem with that. Just unstake. That's totally fine. Around this idea of making the token a utility token, I would say two things. The first one, token was doing fine 6 months ago with no utility. So like it just like the evidence shows that it is not required for it to be a pure utility token for it to do well. In this case, the utility of the token is the governance that it comes with, that is meaningful and actually works, and the growth potential that it shows, and the alignment that it has with product growth via the Jupe accumulation plan and the Letterbox Trust, right? So the way that we create value for the token is not just by saying, hey, you get 1% off on fees. That's not going to do it, right? What's going to do it is growth in the product suite and alignment between the product and the token. What's going to do it is growth in the community and the energy and the amount of people that are out there pushing the ideas forward. And what's going to do it is a sense that we are heading in the right direction. And that is really where I think this proposal should hopefully help as well. That it's a vision of where we can start to go from here.
I guess, can I ask a follow-up on that? Will the team add utility where it makes sense and there's alignment?
I would say no comment, no commitments right now. There's no like immediate short-term plans to do that. I think that they're in the list of problems that we need to solve. That is relatively low. The much more urgent ones are things like, how do we fix this budgeting process? How do we get a good proposal process that can go out there? How do we continue to build the best products? And how do we do more IRL events and bring more people into crypto? So all of those kinds of things are more urgent in our minds than any kind of like, marginal thing on the side.
Yeah, I hear you. I think, there's definitely an urgency to some of this stuff. I'm particularly looking forward to the stuff that's going to be in the resolution part 2.
Yeah, I know you are. I know. In fact, a little behind the tape or behind the curtain idea. Slugman actually wanted to do 2 first and do this one second, which is a fun thing. I also really like the second one. I think people are going to be really excited about it. This comment I just love. I don't know. I mean, it's all anonymous, but whoever said this, the focus on outcomes over rigid decentralization principles is refreshing. However, more concrete metrics to evaluate progress towards independence would strengthen the proposal. That I definitely appreciate, and I think is true. More details on collaboration mechanisms would be beneficial as well. Overall, this represents a mature perspective on DAO governance that balances idealism with practical execution. Sir, you're a man after my own heart. Is it perfect? No. Is there more stuff that we can be clear on? Yes. But it seems like you're on board with the direction that we're going, and I very much appreciate that. Okay, cool. What do you think, Slugman? Should we look at some more feedback? Should we?
Yeah, let's keep on. I think let's go for like another 10 minutes or so. Let's refresh.
Cool. So remember, folks, as you vote, you can leave this verified feedback. Everything that you see on the screen right now is feedback directly from people that actually voted on the proposal. This is not random Twitter eggs, or I don't even know if Twitter still does eggs, but a lot of that kind of stuff. These are all real folks out here. Let's see. What else do we have here? You guys are doing a great job and very transparent. Appreciate that. But the email notifications of new proposal are not working for me. That is interesting.
Doesn't go out yet.
The email has gone out yet.
Yeah, it hasn't gone out yet.
Yeah, that's
traditionally done on. It's traditionally done on the second day. It's traditionally done on the second day.
So the emails will go out tomorrow. Don't worry about that. That will happen. I will also say, I'm going to apologize right now. You're going to get 2 emails this week. One is for the vote. One is a Q1 recap. We had some problems with our email service provider over the last 2 weeks, which is why we haven't been able to send it out. But there's going to be a little recap of everything that happened in Q1 coming as well. It's a short read. It'll make you feel more bullish. It'll make you feel more excited. So yeah, just keep an eye on that. Even though Vibhu is not here, Kash's eyebrows are enough for both. Oh, Stash, it's great to have you. Thank you. Thank you so much for your valuable comments. Matto asks, can you see which way the DAO member voted alongside with their verified feedback? I don't know. It's like, can we?
I think it's anonymous.
I don't think that you can. I mean, I certainly don't know how to, for what it's worth.
There's probably ways to do it programmatically, like if we wanted to implement that, but I don't think it's implemented that way right now.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, we want to keep this. You'll just see the wallets. Yeah, and I guess like in theory, you could just look up the wallet and what the interaction was because it's all on chain. Ultimately, you could, in theory, check the chain. We don't do that, and even if you do that, it's anonymous just to your wallet address. There's no name on it, unless you're Zach XBT. Yeah, the idea here is to allow the team and the DAO itself to be able to see what people think in a verified manner. When vote for Cash Face is Jupe mobile background for real? Not soon enough. That's now resolution number 12. That's what's going to come through.
That should be like
wanted me to react.
I think it would be cool for mobile if there's like a bunch of like secret ways to unlock backgrounds, and maybe that's like one of the secret backgrounds.
I like that idea. Jupe Mobile, are you listening? Put your boy in. The very funny part of this actually is that I had Vibhu on the ecosystem call. I used to have something called the Solana ecosystem call. And little spoiler alert, I'm going to host one next month as well. First people to know. No one else knows about that yet. But the Solana ecosystem call, I had Vibhu on, and he was demonstrating the Drip app on his phone, and he made his phone background my face. And it was very, very scary. So, Vibhu cannot outrun my face as his phone background, it seems. Okay, going back into the feedback, resolution makes sense as written. For the motion, greater high to Jupe. Too soon. That's tough. My ask is, if you are going to leave feedback, try to leave a little bit more context, especially if you're voting against or abstaining, because then we can make it better should this proposal fail. With stuff like too soon, it's hard to know exactly what needs to be changed. Slimy's laugh keeps the DAO alive. Slimy is what they call you, huh, Selectman?
No, that's what Monique calls me, so that's how I know who that is behind the account right now.
That is true. All right, looking forward. Team has done a good job guiding the fledgling DAO, trusting the collective wisdom of the DAO to further the Jupe ecosystem and utility is high. Misvotes due to lack of in-app notifications using iOS. We hear you. Everybody, please yell at. Please leave my eyebrows alone. I actually just got them trimmed up a little bit before this call. Spam Jupe Mobile if you want notifications for the votes. I do think that it is coming very soon, if I'm not mistaken, in the next 2 weeks. So we're trying to get it up for this one, but couldn't make it happen. Nice. I think it's better for the community. I believe in the team. Great. Absolutely. 4. Thank you for including my POV. Indeed, I'll take this opportunity to say thank you to everybody that left feedback. I mean, I cannot tell you how many comments were left. It is like, it must be in the thousands between people on Twitter, people in the Jupe research forums, in Discord, on the Google Docs note itself, in one-on-one meetings, all of that. Very much appreciate it. Okay, we're on the right path with the proposal. Keep taking it forward. Looks interesting, but I will see what the community picked. That smells like an abstain. The DAO resolution is the best way to get the community actively involved in decision-making. I support this initiative. Having an independent autonomous DAO will be excellent. Oh, just visited from the Planetary call. Really like the proposal and what the DAO is going to be working on. Shout out to you, person who said that, who is watching this right now. No Freddy. I don't know what that means. Here's a nice one that I think seems anti. Although I appreciate Kash and his work ethic, thank you, the team should not be facilitating DAO-related votes. There was not a collaborative effort on this proposal to the degree people think, and the motive behind a lot of these picks stem from meow. The team need to focus on what they say they focus on and allow the DAO to develop on its own. I'm not sure to the degree what you mean by the degree people think. So allow me to share kind of like what the thinking was. Obviously, yes, Meow's opinions are also present in this, as are mine, as are Slorg's, as are many other people's. But so the process that we used to get here, it must have been 3 weeks ago, or 3 or 4 weeks ago, that the first kind of ideas or drafts around this were starting. We talked about it on the Planetary call that we were drafting some things to that point about a month ago. And immediately from there, there was other feedback and other community voices in. Big shout out to the CWG specifically, which makes sense. This is kind of their domain. They were among the first to give a lot of valuable feedback on where things should go. From there, it was surfaced to all the cats of culture, which is a special role that we have in the Discord. It's a very rare tier for our most devoted community members. Feedback was given there. All the work group members would then engage. That's another whatever 25, 30 people that were given feedback on it. Then I circulated it with a few large token holders as well that I happen to know personally to get their feedback in it. And then on top of that, we then posted a draft last Wednesday, I think, or last Thursday, roughly. It gave it about 5 or 6 days for public comment, which then informed some of the changes that were made. Most of the comments were around specificity of the journey of progressive independence. So that was all made as a result of that. There was a Twitter space that I think nearly 3,000 people listened to at least some part of and asked questions and comments. There were multiple Discord town halls. There were, what else? There's probably some other stuff. But hopefully, as I tell you all of this, you can see that there's actually a lot of community input. This has kind of dominated my life for the last week or two. It's been quite a bit. Sorg, is there anything else you can say to back me up on this? This is not just like a cash.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you want to give like a specific change that was made because of community feedback?
Yeah, I mean, there was a change made 10 minutes before this thing went live because of CWG feedback. But if we don't even include the CWG feedback, the one clear and specific thing was this idea of what are the milestones on the journey to progressive independence. People felt like that was a little bit vague. That was a big one. Another kind of big change that was made were some clarifications on the DAO and the team. I think initially it was much higher level. It didn't include as many specifics. Certainly in the earlier drafts, it was just like, hey, the DAO should focus on these things without saying explicitly what the team should focus on. That was directly added in as a part of the feedback. There was a conversation about token utility and who creates it versus decides on what it is. That was directly in response to some feedback. So yeah, there was. Thank you, Vibhu. I appreciate that. So yeah, those were, I think, just some of the changes. A lot of the, actually, certainly that last section as well of like what comes up next. A lot of community feedback on that as well. Were there other things that you were thinking of, Slugman?
No, I was just going to say, I think like the thing about this proposal is that it's not the version any one particular person wanted. It's not the version that you may have wanted. It's not the version the CWG may have wanted. It's not the version the COCs may have wanted. It's kind of an aggregate of all of that.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, there's an old line that compromise means that no one is fully happy. If it was just up to me, this is not the document that I would have put together. My document would have looked different in a bunch of ways, but this is a collaborative document, and that's an important thing to understand. Okay, Vibhu, send a photo of your feet on the plane, and that's how we'll know that you're there. Okay. Vibhu's plane got better Wi-Fi than me at home. Yeah, you're not wrong. It's got better Wi-Fi than me in this hotel as well. Okay, cool. So we've been going for about an hour. I think. Let's see if there's any other feedback.
Let's do one last refresh. Let's do one last refresh. Let's go through it for 3 more minutes. I just want to make sure that I
trust the team more than a person. Yeah, that was one of the cool, reassuring things that I got. A lot of folks were excited about it. Like they wanted the team to be involved, and that was cool. Okay, who can tell me what language this is? I want to say Polish. Anyone know? Polish. Let's find out what this says. This is Polish, and it says, "I don't want to write nonsense, so I won't write anything." That's what that means in Polish. Thank you for that. Love you, meow. It's a good idea proposal. I think we need this idea to give this idea a chance to give working together. It's a good proposal. I hope this will be a great step forward. Here's one. I like most things in the proposal, but I do not like the idea of using Jupe from the litter box. That's unsustainable. I.e., why not have 10% of fees go to the DAO, 40% to the team, and 40% to the litter box? The litter box should go for future ASR, if not put an end to the 30-day staking. So one thing that was actually, this was another change that was made directly based on feedback, was leaving that a little bit more open-ended. So we're not saying in this for sure that 100% of the litter box trust goes to operational needs of the DAO. That's not what we're saying. It'll be something for the DAO to leverage part of in 2 years' time. Now, if the DAO at that point, once it kind of matured, thinks that it should go towards ASR or it should go towards something else, okay, that'll be up to the DAO to figure out on a portion of it. But yes, this is a fair point, but it is not the case. The full litter box trust will be at the spending discretion of the DAO. That's not
the language of that particular sentence was actually changed. It now reads, the DAO will be able to use the trust to fund efforts or decide what to do with it if that best aligns with its mission. So there's a decision to be made. It's not necessarily spending. There's a decision. Yeah.
Correct. And I want to highlight best day ever with a great comment here. I think the proposal is admitting where we're at, the team hand-holding, taking people's criticism head on instead of pretending and making commitment to hand over fully in 2 years. That is right. Make no doubt about it, right? I understand the potential flood vector here of like, oh, the DAO, the team is still involving it, whatever, right? Like, I get that that's a complaint, but the option is either to bite the bullet and take that complaint on in the hope that we can get better outcomes, or to say, fuck it, we're just going to like cave to whatever CT ideologues want to see. That's not what we're doing here. I believe personally that the DAO has a lot of potential, that with the right structures in place, we already have a lot of great talent, we already have a lot of great people, we already have a lot of great kind of believers in the overall mission, and it just needs some kind of improvements to make that flow, that value creation flow even more seamlessly. VDMD says, looking at this feedback, I can say for sure we are an optimistically mentally challenged mix. Okay. Yes, and Meow is still very much kicking progress. Don't worry, he's deep in the product trenches, as Joe Doe and others can tell you later on. Okay, cool. Let's see if it is meant for the group. I'm nothing to say but support all the way. Not sure on this proposal. I will abstain. The money should remain in tokens, not wasted in other topics. Don't know what that means. My Angus twitches with approval. I don't know what that means. I'm for more votes like this to further define the direction of the DAO. It feels awesome to be participating in something like this and having a say in where it goes. Well, whoever said this, I got good news for you. There's going to be more coming through. So don't worry about that. I feel a lot less stress with the team involved more than people who don't read proposals. It's very. I'm glad to hear that. Yes, we're taking this very, very seriously. Okay, Jupyverse, trust you. This sounds like chaos, not like DAO. Interesting. That's an interesting kind of view. I think my view is that this is actually an effort to reduce the chaos and to kind of have some kind of clear strategic leadership here. But people might disagree. I don't know what Angus is. People laughing in the chat. I don't know what that actually means. Great idea, endorsed. Let's see. Oh, I put my request in Jupe Research along with I ate oranges. He's gotten no attention from you guys. That's just not true. I've written like 5 pages of responses to him and to others. So, but I will address these right now. So, financial transparency and use of funds. This is a great one. Let's be clear. So, there's been a few people in Jupe Research who have made requests that, hey, the team should open up their books. That we want to know every dollar that's made. We want to know what the specific salaries are, what is being spent, and so on and so forth. That's not going to happen. The job of the DAO is not to babysit the team, right? That's not what we're trying to do. The DAO is not an auditor that is here to kind of like identify where every dollar that's spent by the team is going. That's in fact why we wanted to put this proposal forward, to make clear that distinction, that these are two partners working together to further a mission, not one is like an oversight body of the other. And so that, especially if this proposal passes, I think we can put that question to bed. Funds accountability, I think kind of goes to the same. No concern about the token price. What are the token value drivers? Burn, Litterbox don't seem to reflect the drivers for value. I think this is like an agree to disagree. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Token value and token price must ensue. It cannot be pursued directly, right? Teams that just focus on driving token value are teams that do not last very long in this space. Sure, there are ways that you can pump the token price in the short term, but we're not here for the short term. The promise that we're making is that we're here for the long term. And to build for the long term, we need to take things in a slightly different way. ASR, is it truly driving the value? I don't know what that means necessarily. But hopefully whoever said this, you feel like you've at least gotten a response, even if you don't agree with it. But I do encourage you to go search my name in the Jupe Research forums, and you'll see that I've addressed every single one of these points on a variety of different posts. So, okay. Do you get to find out Tim Cook's salary by buying a MacBook? The funny thing is Tim Cook's salary is actually public because he's a publicly traded company. But it's not like you get to find out everyone else who does it or how every dollar is spent or anything like that. It's pretty loud. People really like the hotel. I will say the hotel looks nice. It is. Anyway, we don't need to talk about the hotel. Okay, cool. I think it seems good to me. Any last things that you want to say on this vote here? Abstain. Plugman, any last things that you want to say over here? Any last comments that you want to respond to?
It all seems pretty positive. I would say if you want to keep providing feedback, please do so, or to provide it on the Jupe Research Forum post itself. But yeah, I think we're good
please
for
do.
now.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you to everybody that left feedback. Thank you to everyone that voted. Thank you to everybody that's watching right now. And thank you to Joe Doe, RJ, and Genesis, who have been very patiently waiting for their turn to jump on screen. VDMC, so you people don't even read proposals, anyone more responsibility. Yeah. Listen, it's we have some solutions for this. Just, stay tuned. Hopefully this goes. Slorg for president as well. Vibhu posted proof of, well, we got to pause everything and go find Vibhu to make sure he's actually on a plane and he's not just hanging out at home doing random nonsense. Let's take a look. Vibhu.
Oh my God, how many notifications do you have?
Me? I always have 20 plus, like at all times. I mean, you want to see the state of my mention? People are like, oh yeah, there was, I forget who it was. Somebody was like, oh yeah, there's not been a lot of response to this. I'm like, bro, go check my notifications. I just
what's that picture at the top?
Shout out to Jupyverse. Those guys are great. They finally did a nice, this actually looks nice. Thank you for doing this. This is great. I like this. Slug is my little pet. Shout out to Jupyverse. But yeah, this is just like the nature of my mentions at all times. It's kind of hectic. Oh wait, where's the proof of plane? Vibhu just lied. Vibhu straight up lied. Can we all agree? Can we drop liar in the chat for Vibhu, please? I don't see this anywhere.
I don't appreciate your lies, Vibhu. You're undermining confidence in the DAO.
Oh, look at replies. Yeah, exactly. We need trust. Oh, proof of plane.
There we
I don't
go.
know. This could be anybody's feet. I want to see actual toes. That way I'll know it's Vibhu. Otherwise, there's no way to be sure. Vibhu. There's another joke that I want to make that he knows I want to make, but I'm not going to. Anyway, oh, what a diva. Anyway, all right, let's go back to the slide deck and let's keep the good times rolling. We do have, in addition to this DAO resolution vote, there are other very cool things that are happening across the Jupyverse, not least of which is some new alpha that we are about to drop straight onto your head top, as they say. And in order to do so, hold on, are we not dropping that anymore? Did that get removed? Oh, okay, it's coming. Maybe it's not. Well, before we even get to that, let's bring up our guy. Drop a little JM in the chat, please, for our guy, Mr. Joe Doe.
Woo!
Joe, how you doing, my guy?
I'm good. What up? Can you guys hear me?
Look at you with the Jupyter Pro background as well.
I'm trying.
He's doing it, man. He's out here. He's doing it. All right. Well, so to start, I know recently you and the rest of the team dropped a massive update on Juno. For anyone that missed it, can you explain why Juno is such a big deal and why they should be excited about it?
Yeah, basically, I think not just in Solana, I think throughout crypto, we've built like the most powerful routing system. So it's like a lot of things that happen under the hood. It goes through like meta aggregation. Right now, I think we have something like 4 different routers that we are meta aggregating. So Metis, that's the kind of OG Jupyter router, the one that kind of balances between like performance and all that stuff. There's Hashflow, Dflow, and more on the way. There's like, much. Okay, I would say much more, but we're already starting to do a bunch of stuff. So I think what's super interesting about this is because it's self-learning, and okay, it's a couple of like stuff that we do real-time analysis on. We do it on slippage, we do it on like transaction lending. So it's like we just keep feeding more and more data into this liquidity engine, right? So that it can basically execute the best path, the best swap out there, right? So that's like super interesting. The self-learning part, basically, if there are like offending routers, offending even like AMMs who like, so for example, let's say you are trying to swap like 100K for USDC to Sol, you code it. For example, let's say this RFQ partner, right? Let's call it like Summer Mute, right? They provide a code, it becomes like the best price. You click swap, nothing goes through, right? You hit it, nothing goes through again. We basically start like dropping these like market makers. We're like, okay, look, this guy's performance crap, right? Drop it. We then fetch codes from like other people instead. So that's the kind of like self-learning part. So it's like I think users can really use the swaps with confidence, and yeah, I think that's what Juno's like built for.
Amazing. I think that Juno is just the best way to trade. Is that a fair way to say it? That it's the best liquidity machine that has ever been created in all of DeFi?
I think so. I think if you're someone not from Solana land, and you're like you go to like ETH or something, the number of dexes that there are in Solana compared to like even other chains, it's like crazy amount of difference. I think so on the RFQ side, we have something like maybe 10 plus market makers. So that's really like 10 off-chain providers providing you codes. On the
I
AMM
think it's
side,
22.
right. I don't know the latest number, just lumping a number. Yeah, more than 10 is a safe bet, right? AMMs, I think the number is quite big also, right? I think Jupiter really was trying our best to support the ecosystem in the early Solana days, where even like small dexes, we were like trying to give them a chance. So yeah, we actually have like a lot of AMM integrations. So I think it's like by far the best access to liquidity, to unique number of tokens. Yeah, on chain, off chain. It's just the best. Period.
Best, period. Folks, you can go to jupe.ag and use this right now. Then after Juno, which is again a very big deal, you can go read more about it. Aaron, who leads a lot of the engineering on this, wrote a really nice detailed post for people who want to get deep into the weeds on how it works and why it is so great. But in addition to that, there's some other features that are getting upgraded. Joe, talk to people about the search bar.
Should I just share my screen? That doesn't work.
Please.
I think I pressed share, but
I'm a man of the people. Anybody can share their screen over here. I'm going to make it
Let's
full
go.
screen so that people can see it a little better. There you go.
Amazing. So basically there are a couple of things we improved about the search bar. I mean, obviously I think there's something like few million tokens, so we want to make Jupiter like the easiest way to like search a token, make sure you're getting to the right token. So first off, instead of just showing you volume, we now show you like more metrics. You see like MCAP, volume, liquidity, even the organic score. We even display whether it's verified or not. You get even a glimpse of the CA, right? Well, we're trying to make it like as hard for you to screw up as possible. Yeah. It's gonna be pretty tough to screw up, right? So more metrics as one. We've improved like the search algorithm as well. So I don't know. Kash, tell me something to search. Like what's a symbol, like a token? I don't know. Tell me.
Let's do cat. Let's see what comes up for cat.
Yeah. So for cat, yeah, it's robust enough that like we take into account like the symbol, even the name of the word, and then basically the search algo, like we're trying our best to give you like the token we think you're searching for, right? So for cat, top search cat and dog, right? That cat in a dog's world, sorry, which is the token mu, right? You look at the metrics, it's like of all the users, likely this when someone search cat, this is the token it's searching for. But then we've added a new feature called exact match, right? So let's say you are searching, yeah. So let's say you exactly wanted to search. You already knew the symbol. You know, like your friends are trading this token and the symbol is cat. Put a parentheses. So we will basically filter out everything that's not verified and just give you like cat, right? So it's actually a balance. I think it's interesting, and we spend actually quite a lot of time iterating this because like, so for example, a token that has quite a long name like Fatcoin, right? It's obviously heavily traded right now. We try to get you there like as fast as possible, right? You type F, it's already the second search. You type A, it's the first search. ART, all the way. It's going to be like top search, right? And in all likelihood, the moment you type in F, you're looking for Fatcoin, right? But somehow, let's say you're not, and Fatcoin always has like dominance in some sense, this like search engine optimization. Let's say somehow you know the ticker's FAT, right? You decide to search FAT. We'll tell you like, okay, hey, look, there's like 0 verified tokens with an exact match called FAT now. And then we'll be like, okay, maybe check out these others, right? So again, we will return to the search where we're like, okay, when you search FAT, maybe you're thinking about some other token like this, right? You can do this for like any combination. So if you try something like, I mean, let's say we try dog, right? It's a very contested thing. So mu, dog with head, these obviously do quite well and are on the top. But then if you search exact search of like dog, yeah, then you filter just for dog, right? Yeah, so
better,
that's
easier, more straightforward. That's what we like to see.
harder for you to screw up. You must be really like screwed up to screw up searching for tokens.
That is right. But Joe, we got to be honest right now. People, eagle-eyed viewers, might notice something else a little bit different behind here. Do you wanna tell the folks what's cooking, so to speak?
Let's go. So this is now live. We shipped it literally minutes ago, fresh out of the oven. We've got a new feature called Alpha Scan, right? So this is on the Jupyter Pro. You can get it bang, right? You get from Pro. We left the first step as cooking because quite a lot of our users are using this right now to find like new tokens that have been trending. Alpha Scan is basically like a new like vModel UI that's very specifically optimized for new launches, launch pads, and yeah. So like I mentioned just now, we've actually integrated like throughout Solana the most dexes, the most launch pads. If you see other like pro trading terminals, won't mention names, they likely only integrated like pump fund, right? Next, they some I think integrated like text screeners moonshot, but that's it, right? We're gonna kill it. We're gonna like basically do the most integrations, make it easiest for anyone to be in one place looking for new token launches, right? So we're gonna integrate upcoming launch pads, and yeah, even so this what you see here is basically a launchpad filter. So like if you're looking specifically just for pump tokens, you can filter by it, so you won't see like because we integrate a lot of dexes. Even if a new token gets like a new pool gets created on like I don't know a stable coin pool like Arena or like Meteora, all these come in. But if specifically you're looking for tokens from just a single launchpad, we can do that, right? So we can do like pump on, you can do specifically for like virtuals. Once you filter that, yeah, basically we'll show you all the tokens, all the new tokens, all the tokens that are soon to bond, and even those that are already bonded. So if you want to kind of get a view of like, hey, how is this launchpad performing in terms of the tokens that have been launched from there, you can do stuff like that, right? So for example, you do this, you want to see like, I don't know, how many tokens that are launched via virtuals have more than a 1 mil market cap, right? Do something like that. We'll give you exactly what you're looking for, right? You want to do something like, let's say, reset. You want to see, okay, hey, how's Pump doing in terms of how many tokens in the are like graduating in the last like recently, and how many tokens have like crossed, let's say, like I don't know, like a 2.5 mil market cap. Just set the filter. You can even set like a minimum like 24-hour volume. Set that. We'll split it out for you, right? What you will notice that it's gonna be like super underrated, but what you'll notice that all other pro terminals don't do, they don't give you tokens that have passed like even a 24-hour age. For ours, we actually like search our bloody like what few million token DB to actually give you tokens that are like whatever 64 days ago, right? So if you want to see like what are like Pump Fund's historic best performing tokens ever, just increase the cap, right? We will actually search the DB, and we do it like fast enough so that you can actually see like, okay, Pump Fund has launched 3 tokens that now are above 100 mil market cap, right? You won't see this on other pro terminals. You can try, right? Literally, you set like above 10 mil market cap, you'll see nothing because like they've stopped the list at 24 hours. It's a crazy amount of data, it's a crazy amount of infra to maintain. So yeah, I see why they do it, but for you guys, we are doing the extra.
This is too. I'm gonna have to swear. I apologize. If you have any kids in the room, please put them away. Jupro is the best fucking trading experience you're gonna find anywhere. There's features that no one else has. There's metrics like organic score, net buy, momentum, things like that no one else has. And now we have more launch pads than anybody else has. You can find more tokens all in the same place. I'm going to need a W in the chat. I'm not going to ask for it. I'm going to need a W in the chat. Matto, lost for words. Well done, Joe, the team. Get on down there. W from Mina as well, and many others. Okay, yeah, there we go. Our guy AG, VDMD. Jupro is the best. AG likes it. Baydex loves it. It's too many W's. So if you are a trader, go use this. You can throw away those other pro trading terminals that you've tried. You don't need it. And Joe, I mean, obviously for all of this extra value that's being created, surely this is much more expensive than the other trading terminals, right?
one might imagine, but it is not. This whole thing is powered by Ultra, at which only charges like maximum of 0.1% fee. So you can see even whether you're swapping like big caps or like super new tokens, small caps, our execution is just good, right? Look at this. These are like super new tokens. There's things like slippage to consider, new trades coming in. It's still good, right? We give you like the best P parameters possible, best slippage parameters, boom, goes through, right? Yeah, cheapest, but and still being the best. It's crazy. It's crazy. We're doing charity here, basically. Oh, this golden nugget.
Oh.
So there's a new feature, basically. So some of these launchpads like Pump Fund, you basically can insert either like a Twitter link or like a tweet itself, the link to a tweet, right? So for example, if someone does something like this, it will open up Twitter itself, right? But if damn, I don't know what I did. Shit, how do I go back? Cooked, I'm cooked. Oh, okay, give me a sec. Give me a freaking sec. What the I see.
Somebody Molo said in the chat we should rename Juke Pro to Joe Pro. And that's not a bad idea, actually. Well, maybe that's a vote. Well, can't be a vote. That's in the domain of the team. But we'll see if people want to tweet. If you want Juke Pro to be renamed to Joe Pro, put that on Twitter. And enough love, we might just do it.
Do it. I'll own the IP. Okay. Yep. So we're back up. So if they instead of putting like a Twitter profile, they put a tweet. It'll look something like that, and we'll even give you like that preview instantly. So if you're looking to get some lore about the token, all these new you can just see, right? Let's see in real time. So look, all these new tokens now, like let's say, I don't know, Bitcoin Master's Degree, right? It's probably like linked to some tweet. You can see some lore, like just one glance, 2 seconds, you find out, like, okay, this is what this token is supposed to be about. You like it, you buy it, right? It will go through.
And just to be clear, he's doing a little technical thing. He's doing a demo of it. He's not like endorsing these tokens.
Yeah, for sure.
Be aware of that. Be aware of that. Too good. I think that this is a massive update. A great name for the future as well, I got to say. And just generally, the team really cooked on this one, because now this is, again, just something that you're not going to get anywhere else. And as a reminder, 50% of all revenues from this go back into the Litterbox Trust, which then accumulates Droop as well. So more people using this. This is the kind of alignment that we want between everybody that's inside the community, the holders, the users, and so on and so forth. Joe, you cooked. There's nothing else to say. They call you a chef for a reason.
Shout out to the team who did this. Yeah, super excited about this. And remember, shout out, use Jupyter quick accounts to get the quick buy experience. It's pretty good.
Quick accounts, underrated. People need to do it. Yeah, big shout out to Aaron. And you want to name a few of the other devs that kind of cooked on this?
The many, like Ryan, Aiden, Lai Wei, who did the design, bunch of back-end stuff to make this happen. That's Yongjie, Jacob. Yeah, a lot of work.
Very good. Very good. All right. Well, Joe, thanks for coming on. As always, it's like, I don't know, 2 a.m. for you right now, but you had to give the people the alpha. And folks, you were the first ones to hear this. It hasn't even been posted to Twitter yet, I don't think. So the people here, exactly. You are learning of it first. That is what it's all about. If you appreciate that, I'm going to need you to drop another W for Joe in the chat right about now. Awesome. Joe, thank you so much. We'll catch up with you very soon.
Peace out.
Peace, brother. All right, let me bring my guy Slugman back up. He took himself off stage. He might be away from
there wasn't
Slugman, are you there?
Yes, someone else did that. But yeah, I'm back. We're back.
Joe went power hungry. He went power crazy. Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah. One thing that I think people can universally agree upon, whatever your take on this or that, is that the Jupyter engineering team is absolutely cracked beyond belief.
This is like there are other teams that this would be like the biggest announcement they make for like months, you know? And this is just like another announcement this week. And it's not even the only major announcement that we're making this week. So yeah, the team is absolutely shipping too hard, too fast. Speaking of which, let's talk about Drip Too Hard. People will know Drip was recently added into the Jupyverse. Lately, so we want to do a little spotlight of some artists that are doing some great stuff. Shout out to Minko Dross, who redid by hand Meow's PFP. I think he might have changed it as well. If he hasn't already, I know he's thinking about it. Yeah, he did. He did change it, right?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah,
I'd like
yes.
to. I would like to formally ask if this artist could also do a slug.
Minko draws. If you're watching, we need a slug.
Because that is
ASAP.
absolutely gorgeous. Like I think that
It
piece
is.
absolutely
Oh,
gorgeous.
it's Mina. I made that. Yeah, Mina did great. Minko is Mina is a safe person. Slug, I got you. This is the real reason to be on the Planetary Call. Is you get to get custom art made for you by very talented artists. Go follow Mina/Minko over on Drip as well if you want to see more stuff like this. A special shout out to AWAG. This is super cool. I just love the style here, all made by hand. AWAG. Stefan, look at this. This is. I'm gonna try to zoom in a little bit on this. This is crazy. I don't even know how. I literally don't even know how you make something like this, to be honest with you. But I think that it looks super sick. Would love to have this in my Drip account. I'm going to go collect that after this call. Charlie, with just some beautiful photography. It's not all, I don't know actually how this was made. I don't know if this is actually photography.
That's
but it's a
yeah,
very
is that
cool,
real?
striking image.
Is that real?
I don't think it is. I can't imagine. I don't know where in the world a tree would be growing in the sea of lava.
Let's
but I
get
don't know.
that guy who can identify like places based on just an image. Do you know that guy on TikTok?
GeoGuessr. Yes.
Yeah, let's get him.
Yeah. Rainbolt is his name, actually. I think. Yeah, we need. He'll be on the next Planetary Call just to do this kind of fact check. And shout out to Dr. Robo 7. Love this kind of energy. This should be the album art for like a rap album. Wouldn't it be cool if there was like a rap album about Jupiter? That might be a little bit of alpha, folks. We got some folks who might be cooking something up. This looks great as well. Shout out to Dr. Robo. And thanks for putting all this together. Go on a Drip. You can go follow other people like Wag Me Lord, Mustache Twirls, Chaos Twirls. I know our guy Sash is probably excited about the facial hair over on this one, which is pretty sick. All right, that is Drip to Art. Let's go. We're an hour and a half in. We gotta finish this off at some point. It is 9 o'clock, and I do need to eat at some point today. But the next guest is very much worth delaying my dinner. Hopefully room service is still open. We're going to do a first of its kind segment. Within the Jupiter team, there are a number of stars, right? And these are stars not just because of the work that they do, but because of the way that they do it. And what we want to do is use these calls as a way to introduce them to the broader community and give them the spotlight that they so desperately deserve. And so we're next going to bring up one of the most handsome men on the team, easily the best accent on the team, and a man who has been shipping day in and day out for many years at this point. I've had the pleasure of knowing him for at least 3 years. I don't know when we actually first met, but he's an excellent product builder, been deep in the Solana ecosystem for a long time. Please drop a little JM in the chat for our guy, Genesis.
GM, everyone. I don't know if I should thank you or if I should insult you for what you just said.
You could do both.
Yeah,
You can do both. Yeah, why
I'll
not?
do both. I'll do both.
Genesis is here. Do you ever talk with your real name, or should I keep calling you Genesis?
Call me whatever the F you want.
I thought that was
All
his
right.
real name.
Frank D. Gods is here on the chat. Frank D. Gods famously built Jupiter portfolio.
What up, boys?
Was that your Frank impression? That I love. He is the Liam Neeson of the Jupiter portfolio. He's out here making sure that every single dollar or token that you have anywhere is going to be captured. So, want to do just like a quick, 5-ish minute interview here to learn a little bit more about you. I guess let's start with the easy stuff. How did you get involved in Solana in the first place? Sonar Watch is, many years old at this point. Can you talk to people about the journey into Solana?
Yeah, sure. It's 4 years old actually. So my first. I think my first step on Solana was on March 2021, so not that long ago after the Bayonets live. We were kind of exploring some possibilities on trying some DeFi stuff on different bunch of networks with my guy Olivier, which is my co-founder of SonarWatch. And to be honest, we tried EVM and we were wrecked by EVM because obviously the transaction was so high and so costly that we decided to find some alternatives. And we ended up finding the new Solana. So we tried that and was like, okay, yeah, that's what I want to do with DeFi. I want to not pay that much and actually use the products that are good. So we just went full on into Solana, and after some, days or weeks, we were thinking okay, now I'm doing a bunch of DeFi stuff, but how do I track every single asset that I have on my wallet? And the good thing is that we were both developers and engineers, so we just said, well, F it, let's just build the thing ourselves and just have our own tool to track every single asset that we have. And that's how the like full Sonar Watch story started. And then the rest is history, if I may say.
And what a journey it has been. Obviously, there's been some ups and downs. Can you share with people what have been the hardest moments that you've had on Solana over the last few years?
Well, I guess the hardest one was same as all the people maybe in this call. It was like the full FTX bear market events because there is a lot of uncertainty when you build a product. When you go through this kind of period and events, you're not sure that you will like make it until the end of the bear market, obviously. So we saw a huge drop in number of users, in number of people being active on the Discord and stuff. So at some points we thought about maybe stopping it and not continuing building it, but we end up still believing in the fact that Solana was actually really useful and cheap for people to use. So we do saw the big story around DeFi being built on Solana and the efficiency of it. So we said, let's just keep trying and making sure that during the bear market, we'll make it even better on Sonar Watch. So we redo the whole infra and tech stack to make it even better. So that at the point where the bull market was coming back, which is like, fingers crossed, it's coming back, we were like fully ready with a very better tool, and that's what we did. And then at some point the bull market was back, and we'll still ship a hell ton of new integration and stuff, but with a better like tech and stuff. So you name my son.
If you have any children and you name them Genesis, please do post a photo. He will fly out. DDoS will fly out to your house. Selectman, any questions from your end? Otherwise, I'll ask a few more.
No, I just want to comment that the UX of the portfolio is like insanely nice.
Yeah, we always wanted to keep it like very simple because people tend to like be lost on some design and tools because it's too much complexity. Like our tool is really simple. You put an address and you get everything like one stop, boom, instant. And keeping that to the center of the tool was very important for us, and I think that's why we kept so many people and user over the years and months.
Yeah, and the fact that there's also like the invite page, the bridge, and the deposit and the on-ramp page in the same place, that's just chef's kiss. Mwah.
That might change a little bit.
That will. Yeah, I was laughing. But it's good to hear that feedback that you wanted it in the same place. Actually, when did you take that back in?
Yeah, that might change. And I think it's actually live since this morning. The onboard part is now back into jup.ag. So if you go to jup.ag/onboard, you have the full new onboard page, which is kind of similar to previously, but we added some new ways to onboard. So we have Mesh Connect now, and we'll add a bunch of other as well. But yeah, it's going back to jup.ag, and we will also want to spend some time to improve this part because it's really important for users. And that's one of the focus we'll have this year.
Let's get personal here, Genesis. Can you tell the folks a fun fact about yourself that they would not know from following you on Twitter?
Oh, that's. Do I have a fun fact about myself?
Is there something that you are good at that people would be surprised to learn? Do you have any secret talents? Or
No,
skills?
I'm good at nothing. I'm only good at finding money on chain. That's it.
Well, as far as that goes, that's a pretty useful skill to have. That's about as good as it gets. I think good at being Liam Neeson. Yeah. Did people call you Liam Neeson before you got involved in the Jupyverse?
No, never. That's a very good one. I like it. I'll rename on Twitter.
I don't know. I think that might be Srijani that came up with that. Monique still mad at me for last week when I put her on the spot, and now she's saying that I'm putting everybody on the spot. It's true. I do it for my own joy and my own fun. One other thing I want to ask is, obviously, Sonar Watch was acquired by Jupiter maybe six-ish months ago. I would love to hear your honest thoughts on what that experience has been like.
pretty hectic at first. Because obviously Jupyter's like so big now, and there is a lot of people involved inside the team. I think we are around like 80 or maybe even close to 90 now. So it was hard at first to like fit in and find a good place to work, meaning that all those people do crazy stuff each days, and they build so much that they are all focused on their own thing. So the first thing we try to do is find good synergy with other teams, which we did. Like the Jupyter portfolio mobile was one of the most successful one. But yeah, at the start it was kind of a hectic, but like with weeks we started to find our good pace and to find a good place to work on. Also join a bit some Planetary call and stuff, so was also fitting into the team. But now I feel like we are like really nicely set into the team, and we have some really good processes internally that will make us even more, even better in like shipping new stuff with more precision, more efficiency internally. So really feel like I'm home now. Feel like I've been in Jupyter for years.
Say it with me in the chat. Jupe is home for builders, for traders, for users, for lovers of decentralization, and for everybody else as well. I will say, Frank D. Gods knows that I'm very bullish on the portfolio product. It is one of my favorite additions to the product suite at Jupyter. I think as the super app continues to get built, portfolio and being able to manage your DeFi positions in one place, or at least see your DeFi positions and possibly manage them. Let's do that word quiet for right now. Is really essential. It's incredibly sticky. It adds a ton of value for users, and it just simplifies crypto even further, right? Because crypto, we all know, is it can be very fun if you're like deep into it, but the more casual you are, the harder it is to remember, okay, wait, I had funds over on this site or that site, or how do I check the chain, or how do I get these airdrops, or whatever else it is. And portfolio is a major step forward. And it is precisely, people remember the 2030 vote that Meow put out. We talked about the new juke that was needed to help long-term align new team members. Genesis is one of them, and the rest of his SonarWatch team. Like, they're creating massive amounts of value, super talented, long-time builders, proven at what they do, and that's why that was so important as well. So that's part of the reason why we want to do these interview series, is to like let people know exactly who has come onto the team and the impact that they're having. I think it is indisputable that Genesis and the rest of his team are having a major impact. I mean, just Jupe Mobile having portfolio alone is like a massive upgrade versus any other mobile crypto app. And then on web, so many people love it. So many people have found funds for it, and there's big things coming for it as well. Genesis, sorry, Frank D. Gods, anything else that you want to say to the people before you jump?
Yeah, no, also want to say a big shout out to the full team. So we are a small team, but very efficient. So we are four guy team, full French, because we only work with French people, obviously. So yeah, big shout out to Opti, Camille, and Olivier for doing also the crazy works that you might not see, but there is like some shadowy corner that also do a lot of stuff. I do some stuff, but they do a lot of them as well. They're not less visible, but they still add a great value to the full portfolio tool. So a huge shout out to them. That wouldn't be possible without them.
Amazing. Yeah, they're all killers, and we're lucky to have them in the Jupyverse. Excellent. Well, I just stopped saying Frank D. Gods because we're going to record this, and I know that it's going to keep saying that. Genesis, thanks for coming out. Thanks for all that you're doing for the Jupyverse. And if you're watching this and you haven't yet used Jupyter Portfolio, what's wrong with you? It's free. You're going to find money online. It's the best possible thing that you can have. What are you doing? Come on, get around to it. And rumor has it, if and when, how many followers do you have on Twitter, Genesis?
3,000, I think.
He told me before this call that when he hits 5,000, he's going to release a little audiobook where he reads Meow's essays in his sultry French accent. So if you want to hear that, go follow him, x.com/Genesis.
I'll delete my account right now.
Awesome, brother. All right. Thanks for coming out, man. Great to see you as always.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Bye.
Cheers, man. All right, Slug Man, we got one last segment. How you feeling? We're an hour and 40 minutes in to this Planetary call. How you feeling? Energy still high? I know you drank like 16 cups of coffee.
It was 2, but it's basically 16 for me. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the future of the portfolio page because it almost feels like it has the entire functionality of like a sex almost.
Always with this guy and his dirty mind. Yeah, I know. I know, folks. I apologize. I'll filter him next time. But yes, it does have kind of everything that you need in one place. Jupyter. This is like I really want to start naming this. And shout out to Meow for this idea. Just use Jupyter. That's the idea. You want to understand where your DeFi positions are? Just use Jupyter. You want to do everything? Just use Jupyter. That is, and I think portfolio is an important part of that. But Jupe Juice is right. It is time for the man, the myth, the legend,
Woo!
Mr. RJ. How are you doing, my guy? Oh, where is he? And there he is.
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfectly.
We can see you and you can hear you. And I better see some W's in the chat for our guy, RJ, longtime community member.
Okay,
Excuse me.
okay.
Great
Yo, GM, everyone. I'm RJ. If you don't know me, now you know me. So I'm a veteran cadre for, I don't know, like 1 year, 1 year half. So greeting for Vito for trust in me. Well, first, I'm sorry for my English. If you want, Cass, I want to talking with you in English because my English, my expression, But okay, wow, thank you for inviting me here today. For me, it's a honor. It's an honor to be here with my community, with you, with my team, with my cat fan, with everyone. So, bro, I feel like
I don't know.
I feel I like a gladiator in the middle of collision on the Roman time. It's crazy, bro. How many thousand people watching now? It's like 7,000.
7.6 thousand.
Yeah, it's crazy for me. So I'm shaking, but okay, but.
You're doing great, man. The chat loves you. A lot of love for RJ, RJ the legend, W for RJ, everything else like that. So it'd be great to just kind of start off with a little bit. Who are you? What do you do?
Okay, I'm RJ. I'm Kade, but I know I'm currently doing a lot of time. Honestly, I have less and less time in the day. Everything is before no after cat sample, because for me cat sample is so important because it's in my life is my first trip, my first plane, and changed my vision, changed my life, believe me, because I meet a lot of people top the level there, top tier there, Loki, Katoshi, Mato, you, me, you and your team. So it's crazy. The top tier people. So there, I was thinking, what are you doing to improve this? So the last year in 24, spent a lot of time in Discord. We helping for becoming cadre or something, But there is so different because a lot of builders on conference for building something, website or tools, new step. So when I got home, I went to work. So now I doing a lot of things. For example, I'm growing my personal Twitter account, the like 2,000 followers in 3 months. So I learned
Not
to
bad.
design,
Not bad.
Midjourney with Midjourney. I pay Midjourney with the tips from Jupan UIs. If you don't know, my school is Jupan UIs and Molu. The art and design from Jupan UIs is crazy. It's my school. So thank you, Jupan UI. Thank you, Sax, Wake, Sache, Molu, Irish. Now everyone love my design, my design. So thank you. Right now, also working with IJ and Kimo, but not working, but helping out, giving some advice on the Jup Echo. So thanks, IJ and Kimo, for giving me the opportunity. We also, the most important point here is expanding Jupyter to Spanish speaker community, because if you don't know, I'm from Spain. I'm from South Spain, so in Spanish, si todavía no nos sigues, síguenos para no perderte ninguna noticia. Entonces,
I say that all the time.
So we are also expanding Jupyter to Spanish speaking community, because the Spanish speaking community is 600 people, 600 million people talking in Spanish. So it's too big. My team, Tudel, Allen, and me, I'm working in Jupe Spanish, so behind Jupe Spanish, and every Thursday, for example, tomorrow, we host a space with over like 100 people, 150, 60, 70 people every Thursday in space. So my next step is, I think, in May. Soon we have news for upcoming event in Puerto Rico. So I think it's to be great.
Cool. I guess next question is, when and how did you get involved in the Jupyter community originally?
I met Jupyter 23, I think in September, but I entered in Disco after, for I don't know, but when I meet the community, wow, bro, love it. The energy, the first point is change my PPAP mentality to PPP. So in the Web3, everything is no, it's for me, not for you. A lot of PvP. So now, if you here inside the Jupyter, if you do things from the heart without expectation, they will change your life, because Jupyter has a lot of opportunity for everything, for design, for developer, for I don't know. It's too big. Jupyter. So I love the community.
Yeah. And speaking of the community in the DAO, what are your thoughts on the DAO overall?
I just say one thing. So at the beginning are difficult. So right now we are just a 1 year old baby learning to walk. The DAO just has 1 year. So it's like a baby. So I don't care the yeah, I don't care it is. So I don't care right now the focus on the the next step. So I prefer my vision on 5 years. So the stronger point here is the community in the DAO, because
Makes sense. Well, speaking of the community, would love to know from your perspective. It's a question I always ask on these. You're a stalwart of the community. You've been a part. You're now contributing your talents, helping to actually accelerate the growth of the community. What is the advice that you have for people that are new and want to get involved?
Okay, my best advice is don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Believe me, I'm shaking right now. So, but I don't care. I'm here. So use that fear to drive yourself or forward. So try. Don't be afraid for asking in Discord for what mean as SR, or what mean you, or what mean GLP. So try thousand a time, and believe me, you get it. But try. Don't be afraid, because I'm here. My language. So I never study English. I'm here talking with you. 1 years ago, I think that position, my brain is crazy. So
It's well earned, and I think it's a good piece of advice. The Jupyter community is the most welcoming community in crypto. It's not just like marketing speak. You can see it every week on these calls with the kind of people that we have, the way that the chat supports them. And if you don't believe me, jump into Discord. I know RJ and many others will be there to help make it work.
Yeah. I want to ask something with you for close the cut the corner, but it's simple. The question simple is, more intensely, but from your hair. But what mean for happiness for you in the life? What mean happiness for you?
For me personally,
Yeah.
first of all, where's Monique? Monique is getting revenge right now that things are I'm being put on the spot all of a sudden. I'm a simple man. I have a beautiful wife who I adore and I love spending time with, and I have a lovely kid. So happiness for me is just seeing them healthy, seeing them enjoying life, and getting to spend time with them. Which honestly nowadays I don't get to spend as much time with them as I would like, but I think they see the bigger picture. And then outside of my family, for me, it's about making an impact at scale. And that's why I joined Jupiter. And I think that there's nobody doing things and working on the cutting edge in the way that Jupiter is. So give me hard challenges that no one has done before. Give me a happy family. That's really all I need in this life.
Yeah, nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
How about you, Slug? What makes you happy? Actually, now I'm very curious.
For me.
Um,
Oh no, for yeah,
Oh,
okay.
for Slug.
yeah, you're not a slug, sir.
Not yet. The night is young.
Yeah. I think it's pretty simple. I think it's being able to do things you find meaningful instead of doing things that you have to or just to survive. That's it.
Easy enough. And you, RJ, what makes you happy?
For me, the happiness
Mhm.
is to doing the shame. Okay, wait. Give me a minute because I gotta to translate. Is the do what you love. So do what you love. You know, is because if you if you do the love from your heart, everything is more easy because love and sharing with your family, with your friends, now the new people, now the connection. I love the connection with the new people. I love meet new people. I love learn something every day. I the life is so fast. So I'm 26 years old, but I want to learn every day something. I don't know speaking English. Okay, I learn this year. The next year, the next step. I don't know to design. Okay, I learn because it's the life is learn and sharing and love. You know.
Well, I don't know if there's any better way to end a Cadet's Corner than that right there. Cadet Corner been on fire lately. We've had some great guests. RJ, you were awesome. Thanks so much for coming on. Thanks for everything you do in the community. Please drop a little W in the chat for our guy, RJ. Crushed it on his first Planetary Call appearance.
Thank you.
Take it easy, my guy. It's great seeing you. I'll talk again soon.
Yeah, bye.
All right, Slug Man. That's pulling up towards the end here. Any final parting words for folks who stuck around with us for 2 hours? This was a 2-hour Planetary Call. Back to the old school. I also want to point out I made a joke about this call going for 2 hours in the chat. And Slug, what did you say?
Oh, you didn't make a joke. I said, like, let's have a community piece. And you said, we can do that, but it's going to be 2 hours. And I thought you were joking, but here we are at the exact 2-hour mark now. But it was worth
I was not joking.
I think
Absolutely.
It was worth it.
Always is. Oh, somebody, Fair is asking, you guys didn't drop the sneak peek of Redacted. In fact, we did. That is the brand new alpha scan over on Jupyter Pro, which has more launch pads than anybody else and allows you to look at more data than anybody else beyond just 24-hour data to actually see what tokens last the test of time, add in all your filters and everything else. So that was the new alpha that, again, no one else knows besides people on this call right now, and people should go use it. It's awesome. People, I think, pro traders are going to be very excited by it. And as we kind of finish up here, let me just do a quick recap. We went through this week in the Jupyverse. Don't forget, Juno came out last week, the next generation liquidity engine, the single best liquidity engine anywhere in crypto, not even in Solana, anywhere. Includes RFQ, includes all the AMMs that we integrate, includes other routers like DFlow and Hashflow, and it's only going to get better after that. We talked about the DAO Resolution Vote. Thank you to everybody that helped contribute to making that proposal and everybody who's leaving verified feedback on that. I'm personally very invested in that and I put a lot of work into it. So it's great to see the response that it's having. We got to hear from Jodo on AlphaScan, but also Juno and the new search feature for exact match. And of course, we got to hear from our guy, Genesis, about his story, how he got into crypto, and then RJ with a beautiful little Cadet's Corner to end. People say we are starving. Folks, I haven't eaten since breakfast, and it's now, what time is it now? It's like 9:30 here in Turkey. So appreciate all of you. Slug, you get the last word before we go.
Putting me on the spot. I'm crashing out on the caffeine now, like I predicted would happen. But yeah, go vote. Go join the Telegram group for updates, for product updates. And yeah, thanks for everyone who stayed till the end. Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you very much, Slug, for jumping in as well. Great to spend some time with you. Thank you very much, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Bye, everybody. We'll see you next time.